Okay, welcome students. We are starting a new unit today. We've just finished talking about diseases and what they are, how we get them, and how they spread. We're going to switch gears just a little bit, still in the topic of biology, but we are going to move to biotechnology. It's a very exciting unit. Hopefully it's going to be really engaging for you and kind of a fun topic to dive into. So today is our first day of the unit, so that means we've got to do a little bit of introduction stuff for biotechnology. You've got your new notebooks. If you are a Plan C student, I sent it to you so you can print it out. Got copies at the school if you need it. You should have emailed me already though. If you are missing it, I would suggest taking notes today, maybe on a Google Doc, and then printing it out or coming and picking it up tomorrow or whenever, as soon as possible. If you're a Plan A student or B student who comes on Monday and Tuesdays, I've already given it to you, so you're going to need that new notebook out. There is no official vocabulary for this unit, so we won't be doing that today, but we are going to have a bell ringer. So this is going to be posted on your slide, I guess, or not, sorry, on Canvas so that you can watch it yourself. But I would like you in your bell ringer section to pick one of the fields of biotechnology. So there are a couple different branches or fields, and defend why you think it's the most important. Okay, so we don't really know a lot about biotechnology, but hopefully you can just pick what you think is most important right now. Okay, pause the video, watch that video, when you're done your bell ringer, come back. It's going to have a lot of videos today, so you're going to have quite a bit of back and forth. Here's where we are going in terms of our notes, so if you will turn with me to this page, please. Biotechnology, we define it as a toolbox that solves problems. So I know that is a super general kind of definition, but you'll see as we kind of dive more into biotechnology really how diverse the field of science is. So when you look up the definition of it, it says it's the use of organisms and living systems to develop or make products that are useful to humans. Still really, really broad, but there's a reason for that. So biotechnology can be, you can use biotechnology in agriculture, you can use it in energy, sorry, lost that train of thought, energy producing fields. You can use it in the medical field. Biotechnology can really be used wherever there is a problem. So like the simple definition in green says right there, really and truly biotechnology has been developed to solve the problems that humanity has. So the foundation of biotechnology is based on our understanding of cells. So we can use individual cells. We can go even smaller into there, and we can just use individual proteins from a cell. And we can go even smaller still, and we can use individual genes from the cell. Okay, so really, biotechnology can range from a ton of different things, and we have been using it for longer than you think, right? Biotechnology would think it kind of developed around the kind of takeoff of technology and the internet, but that's not true. We've been using it for a really long time, and we'll talk about that as well. Okay, so what do we use biotechnology for? We use it for, there's 3 or 4, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, how many fields or branches we have defined here. But the first one is to fight diseases, or in a medical sense. So we're using biotechnology to get faster diagnoses of diseases and infections. We are creating and testing and then eventually using new treatments. Biotechnology can help us develop that. And biotechnology can also help to better prevent the spread of diseases, something that is super applicable today, right? At this time last year, we didn't even know what COVID was, so we didn't have any tests for it. We didn't have any diagnoses. We didn't have any treatments. We still don't really have any treatments, but we're working on it. And we didn't really have very much prevention for COVID, so we are really using biotechnology today to try and fight the pandemic that we are all living in. Very exciting stuff. There's a video, again, you're going to go ahead and watch the videos. With these ones right here, you can just continue going through the lecture and watch them at the end. But do take some time to watch them, because they will really help you understand what is going on in biotechnology, especially because when you go through the definitions, it is a toolbox that solves the problems of humanity, right? So very broad definition. This will help you better understand. We also use it to feed the world. So with biotechnology, we are creating and genetically modifying hardier crops, right? We're going to spend, by the way, a whole day or two on genetically modified organisms, or GMOs. So if that is something that you're interested in debating, talking about, learning more, just hold on. We will have it soon, okay? We're also using biotechnology to have healthier animals that maybe produce more of what we would like, so more meat or more milk. Even our animals that maybe we don't eat, like our pets and stuff, we are using biotechnology to give our pets longer lives, possibly curing cancer of our pets if they have it, right? We are also, although pets wouldn't be in the feeding the world category, so maybe that was a bad example. We're also using biotechnology to have better food, so maybe food with more nutrients in them. And biotechnology, believe it or not, is very, very important to the world of agriculture, or farmers, right? We are always, one of the problems that we're facing today is that our population is growing on Earth, and eventually we are going to run out of ways to feed that growing population. So biotechnology is trying to solve the problems that we do have today with our agriculture needs, and maybe the problems of tomorrow as well. So it's very important. Again, here's another video that is going to help you really learn about biotechnology in the terms of agriculture and food productivity. And lastly, we use biotechnology to help fuel the future. So fueling, we can talk about gasoline and all that good stuff. So the things that power our cars and houses, we're trying to come up with new and sustainable, as you know, we've talked a lot about this, new and sustainable ways to live our lives, right? So right now, we're not doing so well as far as non-renewable resource use and kind of junking up the world that we live in. So we are using biotechnology to try and create fuels that will help for the future, that will be more environmentally sound for us, and possibly easier to get to, right? Easier to get to, easier to create. We are using biotechnology to make new materials. So maybe we are needing, I don't know, materials to wear for our clothes maybe that are more sustainable. Again, one of the industries that is hurting the earth is the clothing industry, right? We are wearing clothes and then we get tired of them and we either throw them away or whatnot. Taking them to a secondhand store is the best thing, but that's all I'll say to that. Maybe we want new materials, more stronger steel bars for our buildings, so we can buy or build taller buildings, what have you. So it could be building materials for clothes, really anything. We're using biotechnology to have cleaner air, water, and soil, or maybe not cleaner soil, but more nutrient-rich soil, so trying to preserve what we do have. And then also, as always, biotechnology is a booming field in the world of conservation, right? How to make sure that this earth stays around for a long time. Here's a super cool video about how we can power the world with algae. Definitely watch this. It'll change the way you think about gasoline next time you go with your parents to fill up a car. Okay, more about algae. So if you've watched the video, this is going to make a lot more sense. So here is the site for the global algae, the company that was talked about. What they do is they grow algae and then they use it for different things. One of those things is to make fuel that can replace gasoline. So this really is a new future industry, right? And this would not have been possible without biotechnology. One of the graphs I wanted to show you is the radical advances dramatically reduce costs and energy use. So conventional technology here is in orange, and the global algae innovations here is in green. So one of the kind of hindrances for these alternative energy uses is that it's too expensive, right? Here's a graph that is showing that it is not, right? So that's how much energy the traditional conventional technology uses for creating fuels. But here we see the algae is much lower. So pretty cool, pretty awesome. If you would like to kind of scroll around the website, you're welcome to. It is globalalgae.com. Our history: Global Algae is a family-owned company guided by Christian values. Global Algae was founded in 2013 by Dr. David with the mission to change the world through technology, service, and compassion. Our vision is to harness the unparalleled productivity of algae, which is true, to provide food and fuel for the world, dramatically improving the environment, economy, and quality of life for all people. To achieve just this vision, large-scale algae farming needs to be economically viable, so it needs to be needs to be cheap enough that we can do it, and it needs to be energy efficient, so radical advances will be necessary in every step of the algae production process, right? So they focus a lot on research and development to the lower cost of energy and the use of algae farming. Very, very cool, and one of their biggest farms is actually in Hawaii. So this, another thing I wanted to talk about, this company is hiring. So one of the things we like to talk about with biotechnology and any field of science is that there are careers out there. So here are a couple of jobs here that are on the branch in Hawaii. So you can live in Hawaii, but you could be in algae production for aquaculture feed. So you would make $600,000, and you can get a job, right? Very important. Okay, back to it though. We have some questions. When we talk about biotechnology, why do we need it? So this is the bubble on your right. We use biotechnology to solve societal issues, and it's dynamic and limitless because life is diverse. So let's talk about the societal issues. We haven't discussed this much, but science is often furthered or promoted by needs from society. So they go hand in hand. So somebody has to fund the science that we do. Science isn't free. So often many of the scientific advances that we do have are because of societal need or issue. So in biotechnology, it solves those issues, right? And even tries to solve issues that are not there yet, the issues that might come. And then again, it is dynamic and limitless because life is diverse. So with biotechnology, the limits to what you can create and understand in this field is pretty limitless because life is so diverse. So we can use many, many different organisms and cells and pieces of it, and it's really limited only by your creativity of the scientists working with it. So hopefully, or not hopefully, but this field is destined to take off if the right kind of scientists and people are working on it. So it's really, really cool. Also, we care about it because it can impact the economy, and it really does. In North Carolina, it gives us 237,665 jobs in NC. It accounts for $59 billion in NC business volume, so it's a big booming business in North Carolina. And it also generates $1.73 billion in taxes. So biotechnology is good for the economy. It gives us jobs. It accounts for much of our business volume here in NC, and the taxes that are taken from it are often hopefully used for better things, maybe even education. Okay. Another thing, this is kind of longer. I think it's like 16 minutes, but this is really going to help you understand biotechnology, how it started, and what it can do today, right? So that's a crash course. And that is the end of this presentation. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned a little bit more about biotechnology. We're going to be spending some days kind of investigating this. Have a great day, guys.